the city of New York, for example, if they had taught the correct Islam, it would not have drawn a lot of African Americans.
Who said that? Yusuf Shaw.
John Henry Clark.
John Henry Clark, right.
It would not have drawn a lot of African Americans to hear it if they had taught the correct Islam back in the 30s. The African American gentleman was saying, back in those days in the 30s, if they had taught the correct Islam back in the 30s, it would not have drawn a large crowd of African Americans because they weren't ready for it. Right. They were not. See, back in the 30s, brother, our ancestors were being lynched and burned to death, and our ancestors back in the 30s, they were not ready for the correct Islam. They were not ready for that. But see what he
they did have Muslims back in the 30s. What was one of the oldest masjids? What was it? I keep hearing different places.
Yeah. Talking about that masjid.
But is it Iowa?
Yeah,
but see
somewhere.
Yeah. They had people.
Now, Islam has been here since Columbus came here.
Exactly. Before Columbus.
Pilots on one of their ships was a Moor from Spain.
Yeah.
You know, but it was just Islam has always been in America. It's just that up until a certain point in time,
they have a city or an island
they kept it
in Florida.
We didn't have access to it.
Named like Islamaglade or something like that.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, and they say there's even some about the Seminoles being like from Muslims, like the Seminoles and different Indian tribes accepted Islam too. They intermarried and stuff like that. So yeah, yo, it's about time for Margaret, man. Wow, they
no, what I was saying is, that Islam has always been in America since, like the time of Columbus. You know, when they came over on those 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, the pilot on one of those ships was a Moor from Spain. You know, Muslim. Right? So,
but brother,
and over time, through the history of America, there were always Muslims from different lands coming here to settle. So Islam has always been here pretty much.
Right.
But it's just that up until a certain late date in time,
we didn't accept it. We just got on. We got on a little later.
Because these peoples kept it confined. They didn't try to share it with other people. They kept it in their community.
But back in the 30s, brother, back in the 30s, when our African American ancestors were being lynched and burned to death in this country, this government did not want Islam to come to America.
Mm-hmm. They still don't want Islam. They'll let you have it, but it's an Islam that they approve of.
Yeah.
They'll let you have it. Like, yo, look, it's a freedom of religion because they'll contradict the amendments. So you can have it, but just not the kind of Islam we don't like.
They would have to rewrite the Constitution.
It's an Islam that maintains the status quo. In the same way how right after, during slavery, they didn't start letting the slaves have their own preachers on the plantation until the white missionaries was pressuring them, and they came to an agreement that you have to teach a Christianity that will keep the slave docile, that will not make him slow down on his work, and that don't make him look for freedom until after he dies. That was the only type of Christianity that they would accept from him.